All right, welcome back, everyone. Today, we are diving headfirst into the wild, action packed, and frankly, super bizarre events of Bibliomancers Chapter 97. So, you're going to want to buckle up for this one because it takes us from literal hell all the way to a Florida swamp in like the blink of an eye. Okay, let's just get right into it. The chapter opens on probably one of the weirdest situations you could ever imagine for our main character, Jack. I mean, she's not just in a bit of trouble, she's in a predicament that is somehow both absolutely terrifying and just completely absurd. So yeah, the chapter just throws us right into the middle of the chaos. Just like the quote says, Jang is literally being tortured with a feather. But here's the thing, the real torture, the real pressure is knowing that her friend Groucho, the foul-mouthed little monkey, is walking right into a trap that she accidentally set for him. So the clock is ticking, not just on her suffering, but on his life. And see, Jock's demon, Nyx, she isn't doing this just for kicks. This whole thing, it's a negotiation. Nyx is using this, well, unique method as leverage. She's trying to force Jock to make a deal, offering to shave minutes off the torture if Jock will just give up her secret, all while Groucho gets closer and closer to danger. And in the end, Jock cracks. She just can't take it anymore. Not the tickling, but the thought of Groucho getting hurt because of her. So she trades this silly personal secret for a chance to go rescue him, finally bringing her bizarre punishment to a screaming, laughing end. So the second the torture is over, Nyx transports Jock somewhere that's arguably even more awkward than literal hell. She goes from one kind of intense judgment to a totally different one. You heard that right. 1 second, she's in hell. The next, bam! She's standing there, naked as the day she was born, with this giant pink ostrich feather floating down behind her, right in the middle of her Bible study group. But see, Nyx isn't just dropping her off. She's there to confront the person who caused this whole mess in the first place, Cheryl. And this really just lays out the two forces clashing here, right? On one side, you've got Nyx, a literal demon who, surprisingly, is all about karmic justice. And on the other side, you have Cheryl, who kind of uses her religion as a shield for her petty, mean-spirited actions. It's a fascinating showdown. Nyx does not mince words. She lays out this idea of demonic karma, promising Cheryl a very, very long future of personalized punishment for every single bad thing she's ever done. It is a chillingly direct promise of accountability. And then comes the ultimatum. Nyx gives Cheryl a mission, a very specific, non-negotiable task: find information about Jock's grandfather. And the consequences for failing? Well, they're exactly what you'd expect from a demon, a live demonstration of torture for the whole Bible study group to see. Now, in a moment of just, wow, incredible arrogance, Cheryl actually defies the demon. She truly believes her faith will protect her. Nyx's response is immediate. With just a snap of her fingers, Cheryl is gone. Poof! Sent to a place called a razor grass meadow, which sounds every bit as horrible as you're imagining. Before Nyx leaves, she makes one last thing crystal clear to the completely stunned group. She declares that Jock is now officially under her protection, and nobody is allowed to mess with her. It's this shocking and, weirdly specific declaration that totally changes the game for Jock. She now has a demonic and very, very powerful guardian angel, so to speak. So with that unbelievably awkward confrontation finally over, Jock's mind just snaps right back to what's really important, finding Groucho. The shock wears off, and pure, raw adrenaline kicks in. She doesn't even stop for a second. The moment she's back home, the full weight of what she's done just hits her, and she bolts for the swamp, screaming Groucho's name. The whole pace of the story just accelerates here, and you can really feel her desperation. And the rescue effort just keeps escalating. It starts with Jaquaa, in a total panic, trying and failing to flip this heavy rowboat all by herself. Then Lola joins her, and it becomes a two-person search. But when that doesn't work, they have to escalate to magic, bringing in Harry and a literal dragon for an aerial search. Yeah, so their first attempt is a total bust. The swamp is just way too big, it's getting dark, and, well, Jacques is a horrible rower. They're getting nowhere. It forces them to realize that a normal approach just isn't going to work. They need magic. So, realizing the rowboat is completely useless, a desperate Jock runs back to the house to get help from her magical housemates. She's hoping that Harry, with his special sight, can somehow spot Groucho in the dark. And this is where Draco the Dragon comes in with the most obvious and yet completely awesome solution to their problem. It's like, guys, why are we messing around with a rowboat when you have a giant flying reptile right here? He points out they can cover way more ground, way faster from the sky. Now, even though we find out she is deathly afraid of heights, Jack's guilt is just eating her alive. She insists on going with them. This is a really huge moment for her, you know? It shows she's not going to let her fear stop her from trying to fix her own mistake. She sent Groucho into that trap, and she's going to be there for the rescue. And as soon as they're in the air, having magic on their side pays off big time. Flying high above the swamp, Harry gets them a crucial clue. He can actually sense a source of magic, telling Draco to bank about 12 degrees to their left. It's their first real lead. And with that one little direction, the tension just skyrockets. They finally have a target. Draco changes course and dives toward this dark shape in the distance, a mysterious island that's giving off the magical energy. They are flying straight into the unknown. That flight takes them right to the source of the magic, a creepy, isolated island right in the middle of this massive swamp. This has to be the place. This is where the trap was set, and this is where Groucho must be. So this is the big question hanging over everything as they get ready to land. What are they about to face down there? Is it a monster, some kind of spell, another demon? The possibilities are pretty much endless, and none of them sound good. Draco's final warning totally shifts the mission. This isn't just a search and rescue anymore, it's a stealth operation. His words just ratchet up the suspense for these last few moments as they get ready to land silently on what is basically enemy territory. And that is exactly where the chapter leaves us, with a soft bump on a smelly beach, poised right on the edge of a massive cliffhanger. They've made it, but the real danger is probably just beginning. So what do you think is waiting for them on that island?